Given a list of daily temperatures, return a list such that each day in the input, the list tells us how many days we would have to wait until a warmer temperature. Okay, for example, given the list of 73, 74, 75, 71, 69, 72, your output would be 11421100. All right. Okay, so there's a list of array. I mean, there's
Right.
an array with all the temperatures. We just have to find out when is the like how many places is the next element which is higher than the current element.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, okay, 74, 73. Okay, I'm thinking of an approach here. I
Sure,
would
sure. Take a few minutes. Think of an approach.
thinking of a counter,
Okay.
uh, counter C, and for every element, I compare with the next set of elements
Okay.
and find like increment the counter as long as the next temperature is lesser than the the current temperature.
Okay.
And
And
once it's more, I would take another array and fill in the value.
okay.
Okay.
And what will be the time complexity of this approach?
Okay, that's again a brute force approach that I'm thinking of. So I think it should be um, O of n square because it has to
Okay.
search like there are two pointers that are going through for
Mm-hmm.
each element and then it has to go through each. So it's more like a selection sort. Yeah,
Okay.
selection sort. Yeah. So yeah, it's similar to that, but it's not, it's only thing is it's not sorting.
Right, right. All right.
Uh,
Can you think of a better approach?
all right. Hmm, let me think. Hmm. Okay, so the last one is anyway going to be zero because there won't be any more warmer days.
Right, right.
So that would be one element less. I don't have to run the loop till there. Mm, that one's anyway going to be zero. Okay. Um, what else can I do with this? 73, 74. How do Okay. So I okay. So I know two of them which would be zero. One would be the last element, and the other would be the maximum of the array.
Okay.
That
What
would
about
be
the rest
zero.
of them? Hmm.
Yeah. So thinking of that, I mean, there has. I'm thinking of only two loops that has to run through. But is there a way I can run it in one loop? What about? Okay, if I try to make a binary search tree, I'm just trying a hunch out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, I take the first element. If it's lesser, I keep it. Okay, that's not gonna work. Is it? No. I still need to find out number of days I have to wait. Okay, maybe I just run the loop once, find out if the next element is greater than the current element. Then I give a 1. Okay,
Okay.
but if it's not, then I actually have to increment it. So that's not a thing again. Mm, I'm unable to think about any other solution for this.
Okay. Can you think towards a stack?
A stack. Okay. Mm, oh, okay. So, okay, so I insert elements in a stack. I insert the next element. Uh, as long as the temperatures are lesser, I mean greater, I increase it. But then once it falls, I pop it out, and then I increment my counter.
Okay. Can you dry run it?
Okay, so I take 73 inside the stack. Then I
Okay.
take um, okay, then I take 74 because it's greater. Uh, I take the counter as 1 for the first element. Then I take 75. Uh,
So at this
okay,
point of time, what is inside your stack?
73, 74, 75.
Okay.
But then a 71 comes in. So I have to pop all the elements and then keep the 71 inside, then 69 inside. Oh, wait, because it's lesser. Uh, okay, let's think. Stack, using the stack. Okay, so I take in the element. Okay, if it is wait, okay, I need a counter, but
Okay, Aditya, that's okay. Can you implement the brute force solution?
Yeah, okay, I can do that. Should I just write it here below this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is what I thought of.
All right. Okay. I think this is okay for now. We can end the interview here. Let's save the last 10 minutes for the feedback that I have for you and if you have any questions. Okay. First of all, for your feedback, it looks like you are a little out of practice.
Okay.
Okay, so like I was saying, it seems like you are out of practice because in both the questions we saw that you were able to come up with the brute force approach but not move forward, right?
Yeah.
And let me be pretty honest with you, these are the simpler questions that I ask in Amazon interviews.
Okay.
Okay, these are real interview questions that I've asked multiple candidates, and these both of these questions are generally my first questions, and after this, I generally give a coding heavy question.
Okay.
Okay, so you
Okay.
do need to practice a lot more. Even with the
Okay.
first question, right? It was a simple binary search question, and the second one was a stack one, a
Okay.
little harder than the first one. It's just, it looks like you need to work on your logic building skills.
Okay.
So I'd recommend do a lot of lead code medium level questions. That would surely
Okay.
help you out with it. Okay, that's one.
Okay. Okay.
Then one good thing that I observed was that you were very vocal. So that would
Okay.
surely help you a lot in interviews. Not many candidates are this vocal and they don't talk about their thought process.
Okay.
So this would definitely help you out because if you're vocal, the interviewer also understands if you're thinking in the right direction or not, and they can give you hints accordingly.
All right.
So keep that up. Definitely a very, very good thing that I observed in you.
Thank
Another
you.
good thing was that the during coding, right, the variable names that you were using were meaningful. So
Okay.
bonus points for that. Good job. And
Thank you.
since you were coding in Python, the code was properly indented because that is itself a requirement for Python.
Hmm.
So that is good, but also keep another thing in mind whenever you're coding, right?
Hmm.
Always encapsulate the code inside a function.
Okay,
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 so the code was good,
okay,
no problems as such. If you encapsulate it inside a function, that would be better.
okay, okay. So I
Okay,
build a function around it. Okay,
yeah, that's all. And ensure that you handle all edge cases. In these two
okay.
questions, I don't think there were any edge cases that you needed to handle separately as such. The code would
Hmm.
suffice for this logic at least. But keep in mind whenever you are coding that you are handling the edge cases.
All right, all right,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah, that's all the feedback that I had for you. Now, do you have any questions?
Yes, because now you must have seen how I think and how I code, right?
Right.
So, like, this has been my coding approach from the time I've been coding. There was no mentor, no guide. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, because I've already started in Python, all I think about is how can I use a list or how can I use like the basic variables in Python.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I have to think of an approach, like let's say how we use a stack or a binary tree, like those concepts, they were there, but like I mean, they were there during my the
Mm-hmm.
minor course that I took up, but they don't really teach you how to apply them, correct? So,
Right.
like that application is is where I lacked. Though, like if I knew
Hmm.
how, I would have applied. So, where would you suggest me that I can look this up?
Okay, sure. So this is actually a issue that I've seen with a lot of Python developers, right?
Uh,
Because there are a lot of built-in libraries in Python. So even if they
true.
know that how to use those things, they don't know the internal workings. And that is something that is definitely asked in interviews. Okay. So if you,
Okay.
let's say, are using some built-in functions, the interviewer might ask you to implement those on your own. So my
Okay.
recommendation would
Okay.
be pick up all of these existing data structures one by one, starting
Okay.
from, let's say, your linked lists, your stacks, queues, then move on to trees, graphs, and everything, and try to build all of these from scratch.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say you are picking a linked list. Now think how
Okay.
can you bring a build up a linked list from scratch. So you'll think that, okay, for building a linked list, I'll need a node. So now to
Correct.
build a node, I need a class. What
Correct.
should that class have? It should have a data element, it should have a pointer to the next element, and then you build a linked list, which is a collection of
Uh,
those nodes. So
correct.
that would help you out with understanding the internal implementations. Okay, so
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
and while you're at it, while you're thinking, how do I build a linked list? Also think of building the specific functions that are there for a particular data structure, right? So how would add work in that? How would removing an element work in that? How would
Okay.
searching work in that? So addition, deletion, and search. These are the three main things that would be present in every data structure, right?
Okay.
So do implement these three things and then move on to other questions that use these data structures
Okay.
and some
Okay.
and the existing algorithms that are there for them, right? For instance, for graph, DFS and BFS are very, very important and very common. So if you're
Okay.
going through an interview loop at Amazon or Google or any fan companies, even at any startups nowadays, you can
Hmm.
expect one question from DFS or BFS definitely in one of the interview rounds. It
All
would
right.
either be in the online assessment or in one of your interviews. They'll definitely ask you DFS, BFS, or topological sort for that matter.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you should know all of these existing algorithms and how to implement them in code. Not just
Okay.
how these work, but also how to implement them.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that's one. And then whenever you're coding in Python, right? Let's say you are
Hmm.
using some inbuilt method, do think about how you can implement this.
All right.
Okay, because the interviewer might ask you to implement it.
Okay.
That is
All
very
right.
common with Python developers. We do ask them to implement these things because generally people just, learn Python, and since there are all these inbuilt libraries, they just know that,
Hmm.
okay, if I need to add it, I need to do a dot add and my work is done.
Yeah. Understood.
Okay, so yeah, that's all for that. And yeah, for resources, you could refer Geeks for Geeks for this.
Okay.
And another great resource I would recommend is there is a YouTube channel by the name of Pep Coding.
Can you spell
PEP,
it out?
yeah,
PEP?
PEEP CODING, Pep Coding.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, they have some great resources. Even I studied from them, and very amazing teacher.
Okay.
So do refer to their videos, would definitely help you out a lot, especially with the topics such as recursion and dynamic programming, where students struggle a lot, right? They have some
Uh-huh.
amazing videos.
All right. All right. So, like my interview is scheduled on Thursday.
Okay.
What do you think would be the best approach for me to go around now?
Okay, so right now I'd say just brush up on the common algorithms that are there. First of all, like I told you,
Okay.
DFS, BFS,
Uh-huh.
topological sort. Do go
Okay.
through them. Binary search is very common. We do ask a lot of questions for binary search, so that is one.
Okay.
Do know how to implement that and what is the correct way, time complexities, and everything.
All right.
Dynamic programming, I wouldn't suggest you to focus that much on right now.
Okay.
Dynamic programming, we generally don't ask that much.
Acha, okay.
Trees, do
Okay.
focus on trees, addition, deletion, and then there are some common questions such as uh, least common ancestor,
Okay.
LCA,
Huh.
okay?
Uh-huh.
Those things. Then heap, yeah, priority queue or heap. Do look into how a heap works,
All right. All right. So, like
okay?
the working examples of how these, because I know how these algorithms work and I've coded them. So,
Mhm.
but to implement them is where I struggled.
Right, right. These and another good thing you can do is just go to Geeks for Geeks, look at past interview experiences, and
Uh-huh.
like look at some of the recent ones and see what kind of questions people are asking.
All right. Okay.
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 Yeah, and since your interview is on Thursday, another good thing would be, and it's for Amazon, right?
Yeah, it's for Amazon SD1.
Okay. So there are a set of leadership principles at Amazon. Okay.
Okay.
Just Google Amazon's leadership principles. There are a set of leadership principles, and you will be judged on all of those. So, in one
Okay.
interview or the other, they'll ask you some question related to that. So, I'd suggest
Okay.
pick up one leadership principle, think of a story where you have shown that leadership principle in your life. It could be in your college, at work, wherever. Okay. Just
All right.
prepare a story and answer that in the star format. Okay. So,
Okay.
star is basically situation, task,
Huh.
action, and result. So tell them what
Yeah.
the situation was, what was the task assigned to you, what did you do, and what were the results.
All right.
Okay. So
All right.
that would help you out with the culture fit questions and everything.
Okay.
Okay.